The Circle. Hi, everybody. This is Granddaughter Crow with The Circle. Today, we will be talking about the wisdom of Mother Earth. It is such a beautiful topic. It is something that I actually practice in my day-to-day activity and how to apply the wisdom of the Mother Earth and the wisdom of the natural world to my relationships and romance, my business and finance, and my health and well-being. We're going to roll through that in the circle, this circle. So let me go ahead and set sacred space, and then we will begin. So awesome. Welcome, 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 welcome into this space. Welcome into this time. I'm going to draw a circle around this circle, declaring this space a sacred space, and this time is a very sacred time. I'm going to set my ego to the outside of the circle so I can be a clear conduit for you and for the divine as it reveals itself to you to provide you with wisdom, encouragement, inspiration, and empowerment to be your authenticity. So this is for you. Let's move into the material. And by the way, this one is free. So if you see this and you think, hey, this person may want to see this, that person may want to see this, send it out. Let's bless everybody with this wisdom. So let's move into wisdom of Mother Earth. This is the circle with Granddaughter Crow. But let's kick it off. What are the overall takeaways? The overall takeaways are going to be about that the wisdom of Mother Earth is organic wisdom. It is honest wisdom. It will never lie or deceive you. It is honest. And the more that you recognize the truths that come out of this honest source of the divine expression, the more you will be able to trust and rely upon it to make positive changes in a proactive way in your life, in your relationships and romance, in your business and finance, in your health and well-being. Also, we're going to quickly go over, how do I dialogue with the natural world? How do I dialogue with nature, Granddaughter Crow? It's easier than you think, and you're already doing it. We just don't always recognize that. And of course, like I said, applications to relationships, business, and health. Those are the overall takeaways. We'll continue to look at these and how we're applying this wisdom. So let's get into the dialogue with nature. Look at this beautiful natural world and the path and all of this interchange and this dialogue within here. This one has the sun hitting it. This has the shade, the moisture, etc. So dialogue with the natural world. The natural world is our greatest teacher, but it doesn't speak our language, but it does speak volumes. And then we reflect on only 7% of communication is in word. So in one of my college classes, I believe it was communications class, we read a book called Louder Than Words, and it was written by Alton Barber. And it was our textbook. And in this book, he breaks it down, and you can actually Google Louder Than Words, Alton Barber, communication, and you'll be able to get this breakdown. He says that only 7% of our communication is the actual words that are coming out of our mouth. And sometimes we think that that's the whole communication, but it is not. We have a huge part is our body language. The natural world has body language. A huge part is our tone, our inflection, our facial expressions, all of that. So the beauty around this is that a huge part of how we are communicating with each other, 93% of how I am communicating with you, is through my body language, you know? And I think that that's why, and only 7% of the way that I'm communicating with you actually has to do with the words that I utilize. And when we really realize that, we realize that the natural world is speaking to us all of the time. And so the beauty around that is that we get to communicate with the natural world by relaxing into the fact that we already are. This is why I think that text messages and even emails, we do these little emojis, we do different fonts, we do different capitalization. We learn all of that because it's actually captivating our inflections, it's captivating our sarcasm, it's captivating our excitement, it's captivating our body language. So you are already communicating with the natural world. It just doesn't speak English. It doesn't speak our language, but it does speak volumes. If you're walking through the jungle and all of a sudden you look up and you see a jaguar staring at you, I think you're going to get the message. Don't talk to the jaguar. Quietly move away, thank him for not eating you, thank him for being full. But there was a whole dialogue that happened there without even a word. And when you think about like expression, think about how the animals talk or communicate, the bird sound, the bird song. So now that we know that, let's look at the natural world. In order to extract more of its wisdom, we need to look at it through the lens of the concept of animism. Everything has a consciousness. The natural world is conscious. It is alive. And all we need to do is be mindful of this when we move into this. What I like to do when I exercise this, or exercise the concept of animism, to really reconnect me with that ability to be able to move within the natural world. I will go up and touch a tree and I will think, I am touching a tree. The second concept is, and the tree knows it and is touching me back. On one level or another, that tree is aware that you are touching it. That tree is aware of the winter, of the summer, of the spring, of the autumn, of the day, of the night, of the birds, of the squirrels, and you. So it is this dialogue. I also think to myself, oh, there goes a hawk. A hawk flew over me and my husband today when we were sitting in the backyard and was like, whoa, it just whoosh. It knew we were there. It let us see it. It was checking out, what are you guys eating? You know, what's over there? It knew that we were there before we knew it was there. So in a very interesting way, when you move into the natural world and become a part of it, you recognize that it is talking to you all the time. The weather is talking to you. Animals are talking to you. The plants are communicating with you and each other. The landscapes have a different communication, the beauty of it all. And this is the wisdom that if we can sit there and extract that 93% of how it is communicating with us and interpret that into our language so that our left hemisphere will understand, we begin to see the greatest teacher. It is honest. What do I mean by that? Well, the human race is the only organism that I have found in the whole world, in the natural world. The human race is the only race that comes up with these ideas about, I'm not good enough. I am not worthy. I'm not lovable. I'm not supposed to be myself. That is a human thought. That is a conditioning. And the reason why I know that to be true is because The natural world, the tree does not say, I'm too tall. You know, the rose bush does not say, I'm too thorny. I need to be nicer. That doesn't happen. The natural world is what it is, and it is honest. And in that honesty, it says to you, be who you are. Release the conditioning. Find yourself. And this is part of the practice that we're going to be doing today, is finding ourself, our self-awareness, and applying it to relationships and romance, to business and finance, and to health and well-being, the application. So here, this is the teacher of our application today. He is on the hunt. He is applying application of the wisdom that we extract. So keep these in mind as we go through this information. And just to let you know, we are going to heavily be talking about the animal kingdom in this presentation because they are the most animated. They have tones and inflections, and they are the ones that we automatically look at to be able to understand. I like to say that the animals have the most receptivity throughout all of mankind, to include the business world and logos, the football teams and the mascots and the sports teams and their names after animals, and the financial markets, the bull and the bear. How come they don't call it the jackal and the snail? Because you don't want to put your money into a jackal or a snail. I don't have to explain to you why. You already know why, because you already have a relationship with those. Not because they talk to you in English, but because you know how they move within the world. So we're going to heavily be talking about animals. And then at the end, I'm going to show you how to do that within plants as well. And also, just to let you know, well, it has to do with a whole book that Granddaughter Crow wrote, Wisdom of the Natural World. It's practical and spiritual teachings from plants, animals, and Mother Earth. All of this information that you hear today is in there, and you can get that book wherever you get your books, including Amazon and Barnes and Noble and all of those places, or your local metaphysical store. Support the local metaphysical store wherever you are. So here we go. The animal kingdom is broken into 4 different basic groups. It is the 4-leggeds, the winged ones, the water nation, the reptiles and amphibians. These are the 4 different groups, and we're going to take a look at what do each of these groups tell us? How are they communicating with us to open our mind? But before we go into those, I want you to understand that I see that people behave in the world, particularly in certain situations or overarching, through the same mirror effect of what is going on in the animal kingdom. So for example, I am Granddaughter Crow. And we'll look at, what do crows do? Do you know your totem? Do you know how you act or behave within the world? If you don't, or do you have several totems that you lean on in different situations? Somebody asked me, Granddaughter Crow, how many totems and spirit animals do we get to have? And they say, I heard this medicine person say you get 1. I heard this medicine person say you get up to 4, and that's it. And so what do you have to say about that, Granddaughter Crow? And I say, well, I leave it up to the animals. I leave it up to the animals. Whatever animals come through for you, I'm not going to limit them. That's a human thought to me. So think about, as we go through this, how do you behave? If you know some of your animal totems, do that. Then we'll look at each of these and see how they interact together. So let's take a look at the four-leggeds. One thing, irregardless of whether it is a dog or a lion or a jaguar or a cheetah or a bear or a wolf, all of these have four legs. One thing that they all will have in common is they have all 4 feet on the ground. So we extract that from their stance, their body language, which means they're grounded, they're steady, they're stable. They also see what's right in front of them because they are right here, and which makes them more of a realist and less of a dreamer or a visionary. They're like right here. This is the way things are. I'm in touch with my reality and my current reality. Another way that the four-leggeds walk within the world is a step-by-step process, 1 foot in front of the other. So they're really good at projects and what is next. What is next? The element of earth, the physical realm, align with the four-leggeds. So this is what I'm going to say. Do you have one of those four-leggeds as a spirit guide, as a spirit totem? Do you walk into your career as a four-legged? Maybe you do. Maybe you don't. One is not better than the other. They just are different. Now, let's take a look. Do you know a four-legged? Now look at your relationship. Maybe it's a romantic relationship. Maybe it's a relationship with friends, family, etc. Your relationships, even in business. Who around you, think of the person and think of what animal are they behaving like? And when you begin to understand what animal they're behaving like, you begin to understand who they are, and you begin to understand what animal you're behaving like and how those two interact or don't interact. And that is the wisdom of the natural world. So it helps you with relationships to understand what animal am I behaving like in this world, and what animal is my relationships and like. Here's the winged ones. Irregardless of whether it is a falcon, an eagle, a crow, a raven, a hummingbird, a dove, there's one thing that they all have in common. They look at things from a bird's eye view, which means that they are visionaries. Visionaries. Visionaries are not better than a four-legged who knows the process. Visionaries simply see into the future because they see the big picture. Sometimes a visionary needs a counterpart of a four-legged because a visionary will go, oh, let's go over there. But it doesn't always equal or equate in the process. You know, the idea doesn't always translate into the process. And so we need to have both of those. So they are visionaries. They see a big picture, but they might not necessarily be grounded all the time. They have the ability to know how to rise above a situation as the crow flies. So sometimes they tend to be direct with people, in relationships, with business. They fly direct. They don't see any obstacles that maybe a four-legged would see. And so they just kind of, ooh, they're like, come on, guys, let's just go. I've got this wonderful idea. Where are you? And the four-leggeds are like, well, there's a tree and a river, and how to apply this is a little bit more technical than what you are behaving like. I might have a visionary part of me and a four-legged part of me. So maybe I counterbalance. And so look, are you a bird? Are the relationships around you? Look at your partner or your family and friends. What are they behaving like? Are they a bird? You can change it tomorrow. You don't have to be like, oh no, I don't know. What if I'm wrong? How do you perceive them? How you perceive them is not right or wrong. How you perceive them is yours. And they are treating you that way. And so how do we interact? Also with business. Again, now we're looking at the business. You may need a visionary and a four-legged in order to manifest. And they cannot argue. The visionary cannot say, don't you understand? You need to move faster. And the four-legged is going to be like, slow down. You don't know what you're talking about. It doesn't work. Just understand and respect that each of you are looking at the same thing, move in the same direction with the same goal, but honor each other. Honor each other. So now let's take another look at the bird. They are in the element of air, which is the mental realm. So a lot of times what you will find with these winged ones is they are up here a lot, whereas the four-legged is physical and grounded in the physical realm. Okie dokie, what's the next group? The water nation. They tend to go with the flow. They also, some of them, have the ability to go into the depths of the emotion, the depths of the project, the depths of what's going on in the world. They perceive under the surface. They are attuned to the element of water and the emotional realm. So, Granddaughter Crow, what are you talking about? Well, I'm talking about if you're in a relationship with a dolphin and you're a four-legged, you guys are kind of living in different places. So you kind of got to meet at the beach. You guys are living in two different perspectives. So share and have a bigger world together. But you might not always see eye to eye. The water nation may be looking at the depths of the emotion. On the flip side, maybe you are in an industry that is flowing like a trickling stream right now. Maybe you're in an industry that is the ocean. So if you are in an industry that is behaving as the water nation, so not just people, industries and business, then you know the trickling stream needs to be very cognizant of when they are in fashion and in demand and when they are not, and how to subsidize what that looks like. And then the water, the ocean, you might be in such a big industry that you have to be very specific about what it is that you do within that industry. But so it is with finance. Sometimes our finances trickle. You need to be cognizant when that is happening. Sometimes our finances are wide and have a lot of flow. So if you want wide and a lot of flow, meditate on a river flowing through your financial world and behave as a water nation. Go with the flow, not controlling it too much, but allowing it to be what it is and interacting with your financial situation in its environment. So much fun. There's numerous, hi butterfly. There are numerous different ways that these can equate. So now let's look at the reptiles and the amphibians. Reptiles and amphibians, some reptiles and amphibians, and also AKA the creepy crawlies, a lot of them like ants and bees and all of these, they work in numbers. They understand teamwork. They also, some of them show us the art of transformation, the butterfly, the dragonfly, the snake, as it sheds its old skin. They also have an adaptable nature, which means that they're older than we are. They're way older. Dinosaurs are reptiles. So they know how to adapt and they change and they are mutable. They are also the element of fire because of this transformational work, and they work within the spirit realm. So think about your relationship. Are you in a relationship with one of those? Are you in think about like How does this person in your world behave, whether you are in a romantic relationship, or if they are kin, or if they are in your spiritual group, or maybe they are in business, or maybe they are even, beyond that and just friendships. Think about each one and how do you feel that they behave? Are they a four-legged? Are they the water nation? Are they birds? Are they of the winged ones? Are they good creepy crawlies? Are they the reptiles and amphibians? And once you begin to understand that, you will understand how you interact with them. And you will understand why you may or may not flow well with them. My husband is a wolf for the majority. It's his biggest totem. I am a raven, a crow. We don't argue because I see things from up here and he sees things from here. And once I understand that, then I will say, hey, what do you see? He's like, there's a tree. And I'm like, I see beauty over there. Go over there. And he's like, hold on, that's going to take a minute. Slow down a little bit. Hey, did you eat your lunch? So we actually expand our world because of the ability to do both. So, and as well as business and finance, you can look at your business, your industry, how you interact, the people who you interact with as an animal. You can also look at it, your finances, like, wow, my finances are behaving like a turtle right now. And so it's just like, okay, then we need to behave accordingly. Oh, my finances are like, woo, great. My finances are abundant. Great. Treat them as such and work with them as such, as well as your health and well-being. If you want to understand how to take care of yourself, look at your totem. Look at your totem. I actually, because of my raven and my crow, I have a pretty strong digestive system. But let's say that you have a hummingbird or your health is like a hummingbird. You need to watch your sugar intake. Maybe you are an owl. Maybe you are more nocturnal. Treat yourself as such, interact and feed yourself and exercise yourself as your totem, and or you can have the ability to work with these beautiful cards, which is the medicine cards that I love and I work with. There's like 52 of them. If you want to get in sacred space and pull a card on how should I handle my finances right now? How should I handle my work situation right now? How should I handle my health right now? Well, it says I should handle my finances with honesty and integrity. Look at them, examine them, make sure that nothing is flowing through the cracks. Make a budget, stare at them. How should I look at my work right now? Well, this is the blue heron, the ability to go into the water, the ability to fly within the air, the ability to be grounded with a widespread reach. Not just focusing on one thing that I can do, focusing on the multiple things that I can do. How should I handle my health right now? Oh, the lizard. Well, one of the things that I could see is to make sure that my temperature stays in sync, that I'm drinking enough water so that I can regulate my temperature. Another is I might need a little bit more sleep. And another is get my head in the right place, release the old tale of what I used to be like and pay attention to what my body is like right now. That is how easy it goes. If you struggle with doing that, www.granddaughtercrow.com. I will be here for you. Book a session with me and tell me that's what you want to look at, and we will do that exercise together. So this isn't just about how we can apply the wisdom of the animal kingdom. This is also about how we can do the same exact exercise with the plant kingdom. The way that it grows, the environment they thrive in, the functions and characteristics, and how they work together. What plant am I behaving like? A willow tree. Okay. What plant is my somebody who I don't get along with from my family, my biological family, behaving like? Well, to me, she's behaving like a cactus. Oh, cactus are beautiful. They have their place. So, but if I am a willow tree and they are a cactus, that means I grow by the water. I need emotional freedom and flow and stand tall and want to touch the ground. And the willow tree is flexible and bendable and is there for the little birds and all of those things, and giving shade to people. And not throwing shade on people, giving them a restful place to be. A cactus, well, they thrive in the environment of the dry desert, which is totally opposite of mine. Oh, so it is not that I am right or wrong, and it is not that they are good or bad. It is just that we are different. Respect that. Respect that. Maybe I am somebody's cactus. No, I don't know. Maybe I am. Look at how the plants grow and how they work with each other. So that's the relationships and romance. How do you apply that to business? Well, a lot of people come to me with an entrepreneurial spirit, and I ask them, are you looking to grow a tree? Your business, are you looking to grow a tree for longevity? Then slow and steady will it grow. But you also need to compensate until it can bear its fruit. And don't get mad at it because it's not immediate, instant gratification, instant turnaround. Or do you want to grow a weed? That'll give you instant gratification and turnaround. However, it's not necessarily acceptable in every environment, and it has shallow roots. I once heard that basically a weed is a plant that is misplaced. So weeds are good too, weeds are good too. I know they have a lot of medicinal purposes, mushrooms, etc. But that's kind of how you look at it. When you are looking at your finances, are you trying to grow a tree, or do you need a quick weed right now? One-off job. I get it. I've been there, done that. The same with your health and well-being. How are you behaving? How is your health? And what attribute? If I am a willow tree, I need to probably do a lot of flexing, do a lot of, stretching, make sure that I stay flexible, as well as my spine, keep it straight, shoulders back, Granddaughter Crow, that type of a thing. Make sure I'm getting enough hydration. So this is beautiful. I think that you're picking up what I'm throwing down. So you can do this within the plant kingdom, the applications, the relationships within the plant kingdom, for business and finance, for health and well-being. You can do this not only with animals, which are the easiest to connect with. The second one would be the plant kingdom, which is easier to connect with. You can do this with landscapes. Look at the different landscapes and see how you interact and what they bring. So a desert is going to be a dry landscape. If that is the place where your relationship is in now, okay, treat it as such. You've got also, you have jungles. Maybe your industry is a jungle right now. Treat it as such. Apply the wisdom of the natural world to these things, and it will give you great insights. Also, weather patterns. Well, but we only had this talk for about 35 minutes, Granddaughter Crow. How am I supposed to know all of that? Well, here you go. Here it is, Wisdom of the Natural World, Spiritual and Practical Teachings from Plants, Animals, and Mother Earth by Granddaughter Crow. It is packed with practical exercises, meditations, new perspective, and it helps to empower you to find balance in life and realize your importance to the planet. Again, you can pick this up anywhere that you get your books. If you get lost, go to www.granddaughtercrow.com. I have my authorship as a page there, and you can look at all of the books to include this one. So, overall takeaways. The natural world, Mother Earth, her wisdom is organic and honest. She says, you belong here. You are worthy. You are lovable. Also, we learned that we already are dialoguing with the natural world. We just need to sit there and think about putting it into our language in order to really extract the wisdom that it gave to us and how to apply it to relationships, business, and health. What time is it? Time for the 3-card pull. Here it is, you guys. All you need to do, I'm going to pull in 3 different groups. So do you want to be in group number 1? Do you want to be in group number 2? Do you want to be in group number 3? And those are the 3 groups that we're going to be doing. Pick one of them, or 2 or all. It's up to you, whatever you want to look at. You can actually go, well, I'd like to pick group 1 for my relationship. I'd like to pick group 2 to show me about my business or my finances. I'd like to pick group 3 to show me messages around my health and well-being, or whatever combination. Let spirit tell you what you want to do. And I'm going to pull, reminding us we are in sacred space. We are in a sacred time. My ego is to the outside, so the divine can speak to you. Mixing up some of my cards. What is the wisdom for group 1? Oh, wisdom of the ancestors. Higher good, guidance, and choice. Number 14, the wisdom of the ancestors. Look to them. Look to them. Look to your higher self for answers. Because the Black Panther says, oh, you may be in an unknown territory right now. And what you're seeing is you're looking into the unknown, where everything is created and everything returns to. Do not be afraid of looking into the unknown. The ancestors will walk with you through that, this uncharted territory. I'm excited for you guys because it sounds like you're on a new adventure. All right, group 2. Ooh. You mix these up. Oh. Group 2, you guys get the renewal. This is the spirit path of the North. It talks about spiritual progress, success, and hope. You're on the right track. Rise above. You got this big picture. And you also get this fox. The fox says, you don't have to tell everybody what you're doing. Just keep doing it. And when it's time, they will know. Be sly as a fox. They say be dumb as a fox because a fox is very smart, but they just kind of go, I don't know. Something's happening. You don't need to tell everybody everything. You might need a little bit of privacy time in order to develop your sacred path. Okay, group 3. Aw, group 3. This is the bear, the wisdom of the bear. Go within, meditate, release other people's energy, Release other people's ideas, release other people's projections so that your energy can flow. And then you will see who you truly are and what it is that you are truly doing. You will be so much more effective in all walks of life, in your relationships. You will be more effective in your business and finance, and you will be more effective in your health and well-being, as long as you do not allow somebody else to project onto you and take responsibility for their sugar. You know what I'm thinking, guys. Got to keep it PG. So awesome, you guys. Sometimes it's a good to have a friendly reminder that we spend too much time worrying about something that we have nothing to do with. Trust me, I know. So anyway, you guys, this has been a wonderful time together. Like I said, if this is something that you feel that somebody may enjoy, feel free to send it to them. Wisdom of Mother Earth. This has been The Circle with Granddaughter Crow. I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful life on purpose, and we will see you on the flip side.